Hello, and what a place. These are the days when I love being out in the great outdoors. I've done quite a few snow videos this year because we've had some great conditions, and what I've done is I've come back to a location that I photographed in the mist and fog probably about 2 months ago. I got some really nice images and I wanted to come back and shoot them in different conditions. So what techniques am I using? Well, to be honest, not all that dissimilar from when I shot it in the mist, except it's brighter today, so I don't need to up my ISO as much. I'll be shooting mainly handheld. In these conditions, I can get 160th of a second at f9, sort of ISO 160, and that's great. I'm getting great quality, and there's no need to sort of lumber myself with a tripod. I can sort of be moving about like a sniper. That's how I think of myself mentally. I'm kind of moving, I'm looking for shots, I'm taking images. I'm not spending 10 minutes working out a composition. I'm just sort of working my way around the scene and taking pictures on the fly as I go. As I see something, I'm like, oh, look at that, I'll switch lens, boom, boom, boom. And that's kind of how I work in these conditions. And it's really enjoyable way of shooting for me. I'm going to recreate a couple of the images off the previous video, but hopefully I'm just trying to create new stuff, and it's looking better than it looked in the mist. The foliage was quite dark of some of these I think the Scots pines, but in these conditions it sort of lightens everything and you get that high key bright feeling, which I just love in pictures. So I've started off with a bit of video. I'm absolutely itching to get going, so I'm going to shoot some stuff and I'll shoot some more video when I come across something interesting. Okay, the snow's stopped and I've come for a bit of a wander away from the forest. I got a few nice images in there, I'm not really sure. Definitely took a nice ICM image, moving the camera, that I really like. I think that's going to be good. Very, very sort of orderly with 5 trunks. That's going to be a nice picture, and a few other bits and bobs. But I've walked out and I've come back to these trees that you'll remember from the video that I photographed them in the mist. Basically, I want to photograph them again in different conditions. There's a dusting of snow on the ground. There's a little bit of snow on the actual tree, and I just think they look great. We've got a little bit of side light coming in now, which will just add a little bit of form to them rather than being silhouettes. So what I like doing is I like returning to the same scene again. You know, I liked it last time, great. I don't think, well, that's that location done, ticked, next one. Because what happens ultimately is you run out of locations. What I like to do is return to the same location again and again in different conditions, really get to know it and extract the very best images from that place. And if you look at your favourite photographers, I'd like to bet that they return again and again to their favourite locations. It's a real big tip if you're struggling with your landscape photography, is pick an area and get to know it. You know, shoot it in fog, snow, frost, direct sunlight, you know, shoot it in autumn, shoot it at sunset, and really feel like you own that place. You know, that's like your location, and it's a great tip. And what it'll do is it'll take your photographic ability on to another level that you'll then be able to translate when you go to other locations. So that's my big tip for the day. I'm gonna have a wander around now and see what else I can capture. Well, that has been interesting. I can barely even remember what I said on the last video that I shot. I've just checked on my camera, it was 2.5 hours ago. And I've basically spent 2.5 hours trudging through a swamp. It's just like boggy ryegrass. I got lost, so I had to try and find my way back. I ended up stuck on the wrong side of a huge area of water that I had to come round. It's been brutal. I've hardly taken any pictures. I've just been trudging and I've got major chafing issues. I'm a briefs kind of guy, but this morning for some reason I put on a pair of boxers, and a finely tuned athlete like me, boxers are no good, you know, so that's a mistake I won't be making again. We're always learning in the landscaping game, and I've learnt today, you know, briefs are the future. So I'm gonna crack, well, oh no, let me tell you about what I've been photographing anyway, instead of me going on about my undies. Basically, I managed to get a couple of compositions. I found a way across the swamp following these kind of trails to find a nice little tree, and it had some lovely distant trees behind it and kind of backlit by the sun. I think it's going to be a sort of pastel-y image, the kind of colours that I really enjoy in a landscape, so I think that might be quite nice. I also actually photographed one of the bogs. I found one that had beautiful grass just sort of lying on the surface. It was kind of full of it, so I went in close, just shot handheld, and I think I've got some quite nice detail shots. They might make really nice black and whites, those, just sort of textural images. If you're used to following my work and you've seen my other videos, you'll know I like to mix it up and shoot a bit of detail as well. So I have got a couple of images to show you. As to what I'm going to do for the rest of the day now, there's a bit of sun out, you can see it on me. I think there's a chance of a sunset. So I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. And I think possibly the reason I've been wandering around here in a swamp on my own, getting no photographs pretty much, is to keep me here for sunset. I think we might get a nice bit of colour. So what I'm going to do is head my way back. Oh God, it's a long way. I've got a long way still to go back. Head my way back nearer the car, and from there I can hopefully wait for the sun to set and see if I can get something else. So as always, it's been good. The key's been having plenty of water. I've kept myself nice and hydrated. That's important when you're landscaping, because even though you come out and it's snowing, you know, and it's cold, before you know it in this country, the sun's out, the snow's melted, and you need a drink. So you have to make sure you look after yourself. So I'm going to crack on, see if I can get something else. And it's been a challenging day, but a good one so far. Well, I've decided to wait till sunset. My feet are freezing. They got wet several hours ago and it's like ice, this water, because it's covered in snow. But it's like a lot of landscapers, I just can't resist. If there's a shot there to be had, I'm prepared to put up with cold feet for an extra hour. You know, it's worth it for a shot. And I think we might get a sunset tonight. But I've just been shooting this image. I quite like it. These two trees, they're beautifully side lit by the sun. The green at the top is just, it's gorgeous the way the light's catching it. And the great thing is it's got a blue sky above it. So I put my polarizer on and I know that that's going to make a great black and white conversion. I can play with the greens in the pines at the top. I can play with the blues. And I just think it's going to make a really good dramatic monochrome image, that. I keep saying that, it might end up colour, who knows, but I think monochrome. At the very minimum, I'm going to show you the monochrome version of it because I think it's going to make a real classy shot. And what time are we on now? It's just a question of waiting for sunset, to be honest, trying to find things to do in the meantime. It's 4:20 and sunset's 5 o'clock, so I've got 40 minutes to wait. And I'll just carry on and see if I can shoot anything else. But really, I'm just waiting for that colour, trying not to focus on my toes. Mind over matter. Pain's all in the mind, it don't really exist. So I used to watch Karate Kid when I was a kid. I loved that film, and they used to say pain does not exist in this dojo, and that's my attitude. You know, it's only a bit of pain, put up with it to get the shot. For me, it's worth it. So thanks for joining me today. It's been a bit of a strange one. It started out with a lot of snow and gorgeous conditions that you've seen, and it's turned into a glorious sunset with blue skies. That's what I love about, you know, landscaping. You don't really know what you're going to get. And yeah, thanks for joining me. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. That means that you can follow me on all my future expeditions out with a camera, and hopefully you'll be able to pick up a few tips here and there. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon.